Good evening. We call the Hawarden, Iowa City Council to order, 5:30 on Wednesday, July the 13th, 2022. Staff are all present. Council and myself, other than John, will be here with us this evening. Kind of a short agenda item tonight for the agendas. Open business from the community would be an opportunity to address the council at 1C. There are no public hearings tonight. As we start with the standard agenda items, number 1A is approval of the June 22nd, 2022 regular City Council meeting minutes. Is there a motion for their approval?
So moved.
Moved by Rob. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Travis. All in favor then of the approval of the June 22nd, 2022 regular City Council meeting minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That passes 4-0. We then move on to the approval of the June 29th special City Council meeting minutes. Is there a motion for that approval?
So moved.
Moved by Travis. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Patty. All in favor then of the June 29th special City Council meeting minutes, please say aye.
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 Those opposed?
I'll better abstain since I wasn't there.
Okay. Passes 3 with 1 abstention. We'll move next to approval of the July 13th claims for payment. Start please with Monty for questions. Okay, Travis?
None, thank you.
Okay, Patty?
I have none.
Okay, Rob?
No questions.
Is there a motion for approval of the July 13th claims for payment?
Yep.
Moved by Monty. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Patty. All in favor then of the claims for payment, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That again passes 4-0. Next is open business from the community.
John Grease, 2201 Avenue L. I had a whole spiel. I was practicing it in front of the mirror when I got out of the shower. Not a pretty sight, not a pretty sight. But I'm going to spare you that, and I'm just going to email it all to the council members and whatever. It's not in a public setting. But one thing, and I know the city does it quite well. I'm sure you've all heard about the explosion in Lamar's. It's my understanding that a hot water heater was replaced, and then later on the people smelt gas, so he came back to check it, opened the door, and boom. So tell your loved ones, tell your friends, smell gas.
Thank you, John. Anyone else? Hearing none, we'll move to the mayor's report. I have now received, thank you, all of Wanda's evaluations from all of you folks and myself. I will tabulate those. We will put that in as a closed agenda item at our next meeting. And Wanda may remind you, as she did in council here, that the Iowa League of Cities set for Waterloo in September. So if you have an interest in attending that conference, they're generally very good. We'll move to staff reports. Start with Jacob.
So we just have started with the audit process already, getting some documents ready for them and doing some fact finding. And then we have, in 2 weeks, I'll be going to Ames for some continuing education classes for the clerk certification for a 3-day training. And then that's about all I got going on right now. So I will not be at the next council meeting.
Okay. Thank you very much. Travis?
I was informed last week that Iowa DOT will begin road work next Tuesday, July 19th. Contractor for the DOT is 10 Point Construction from Denison. They'll be replacing the concrete around the manholes on Highway 10 from 10th Street to 21st Street. Traffic will be flagged at each intersection, and a pilot car will be running north and south. They plan to have the work done in 2 days. But we're going to put a notice out on Facebook and website so local traffic can hopefully use side roads if available. And the work continues to progress on Avenue L gas project. main lines have been installed from 9th Street to 11th Street and 12th to 13th Street. Now the crews are working on new services in those blocks as well. Our gas department is working behind them, connecting the new main lines and then the services.
Okay, thank you. Wanda?
Just a reminder to let me know, like Rick said, the Iowa League of Cities, if you're interested in going to that conference. Other than that, I don't have anything else, Rick.
Okay, thank you. Jenny?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Corey?
We have narrowed it down to 3 candidates so far for the full-time police officer position. We'll be doing testing, physical fitness testing on the 22nd, see if they qualify. But in the meantime, we're doing background checks, making sure everything looks good before we go any further on that. The other part would be we installed a camera down at the tree pile where all of our refuse and stuff is collected. It was crazy to see how many people actually use it. It's great that they do. One of the other things is we have people climbing on piles and taking stuff out of there. We've had people taking the city's dirt, the city's rocks, everything like that. And it's a bigger problem than what we anticipated it was. So I'm just trying to make sure everybody realizes that the sign means don't take anything. If there's something on there that you would like to take, contact myself, Wanda, or Travis, and get permission to take it before you do, because you don't know what you're taking. If it's something that we use for our projects, it would be bad if we needed it and it wasn't there. So we've been trying to educate everybody as that goes on, and hopefully we can get it stopped.
Okay, thank you. Carol?
I'm continuing to work with the industrial park area, getting up close and personal with the RISE grant, which is a DOT project. It has been pretty good, going well. The website work continues. We do have our website mock-up done. We're going to figure out what we want to put on the website, what pages are going to get transferred over. I had a meeting this week for 2 applications for our revolving loan fund for some businesses to continue or start up in Hawarden, which is exciting. I have 3 new opportunities that I've signed or began to work for grants for different projects in town. I'm going to do the Rural Enhancement Grant, the Scale Up Grant, and the Embrace Iowa, kind of a tourism type grant. So that has been keeping me busy.
Good. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments from council before we move on? Hearing none, we'll move on then to other agenda items. Agenda item number 3, Resolution 2022-30, setting a public hearing on the proposed sale of industrial park lots to Brody Nohava. Understand Brody cannot be with us tonight, personal thing, so do you want to comment on all of this?
He has brought in a presentation to purchase roughly a little over 5 acres of the industrial park. He's going to build roughly a 50,000 square foot building. In that building, he's going to do some manufacturing and some garment making. It's something that he has been doing for 6 years, so it would be something that he's just going to move into a larger facility and one where he can work with his employees locally. They do travel quite a bit with his company, so this is an opportunity for his key people to be able to stay closer to home. That's about all I know so far.
Okay, within the schematics that we have, it kind of talks about the resolution, gives you kind of a graphic of where that would entail in the industrial park.
That is a rough, those
Kind of
lines
a
are not exact.
Rough lines, okay? Okay. Do council have questions in regards to this project?
We definitely want him coming.
Yes.
Definitely. I wondered if, I don't know, for some reason we couldn't put the road in, would he still come and use the other road? I'm just trying to think of anything. Does he need that road, I guess, to make sure he comes?
What the road development, I guess, or what his coming gives us the opportunity of is the RISE grant.
RISE grant, yeah.
The RISE grant is a grant that would help us pay for the development of that road. As you can see, we just sold to BP Construction and AdBar. it just would be a tremendous add. And if someone is.
Jobs and.
Right.
yeah.
The RISE grant is contingent on Brody coming. If he were to
Okay.
tell us no, they would pull that grant.
kinda what I was
Well,
thinking.
they would pull the immediate opportunity of the grant. So, yes, I would
Okay.
say the road is very important.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make.
I'll
Make sure
push
he
for it.
comes.
I'll push for the road. Don't worry.
Any other thoughts? Is there,
Oh, I'm sorry. The one thing I had, just on the RISE grant, does the DOT have any problem with, did they say anything about possibly not awarding a grant because we're in a flood hazard area? That was one thing I was wondering.
When I discussed it with with DGR, Dan, who's running our project, he did bring up a couple of very good points, and as we went through it, our lift station is high enough, it's not going to be bothered by flood water. The storm water, and that is designed to mitigate those flood waters. The water and electrical and all the things that we would put in are not going to be affected by flood water. So the answer to the question, would the RISE grant necessarily be affected by it being in a floodplain? I would say no, as long as the individual property owners build up their properties and maintain so that they would not be wiped out. I think it becomes their personal property and dealing with their finance people, the LOMA letter, all that business. I have not gotten a no.
Okay. So I was just wondering if they brought it up or anything like
They
that.
are aware.
That's good then.
Yes, the DOT is well aware that that will, as of August 2nd, be in a floodplain.
Okay. Thanks.
is there a motion for Resolution 2022-30, setting the public hearing on the proposed sale?
I make a motion.
Motion by Patty, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Travis. Call for a roll call vote, please, for Resolution 2022-30.
Olson,
Aye.
Glucky,
Aye.
Harvey,
Yep.
Anderson.
Aye.
On a 4-0 roll call vote, Resolution 2022-30 passes. As you visit again with Brody, thank him for his future investment in our community. Looking forward to that. Thank you for your work with that. Move on to other agenda item number 4, review and the approval of the T-Mobile lease. Talk with Travis and probably in that regard.
Juana's been working with T-Mobile on the lease of a space on our cell tower and a space in our enclosed communication area. She's pulling up site work area now. So they would add a ground unit with a generator, a cable run to the tower, and then up the tower, and then add cell antennas. They've already filled out a building permit for the site work, and we've got all these documents. Everything's ready to go on that side.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Monty, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Travis. Call for a roll call vote then for the approval of the T-Mobile lease, or voice vote, I'm sorry. All in favor of the approval of the T-Mobile lease, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Thank you, that passes 4-0. Sorry, I missed on that one. Agenda item number 5, review and approval of the Catalyst IT Managed IT Service Provider Agreement. Wanda?
So this agreement is one that we have been doing on an annual basis. I did have Jenny review it. We made some changes to it that were more advantageous for us as far as warranties on what they do. There was a price increase this year. From what I understand, we haven't had one in the last 4 to 5 years. It wasn't substantial, but yet there was a price increase. My interactions with Catalyst IT has been, that since the time I've been here, they've been extremely helpful. They have done some of our testing. They're very responsive when we call, so for the most part, I think staff is very pleased with the Catalyst IT company.
Questions from council?
Make a motion to approve.
There's been a motion by Patty to approve the IT provider agreement. Is there a second?
So moved.
Seconded by Rob. All in favor then of the approval of the Catalyst IT Managed IT Service Provider Agreement, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That passes 4-0. We have no consent agendas, which moves us to, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Travis, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Patty. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you so much for your attendance this evening.
Should have let Pickett run.